Lamuhla kuhlangana umnyaka kwaboshwa kwamengameli waphambilini Jacob Zuma lukaholele ekutheni kucubuke itikhundleni letimatima KwaZulu-Natal nase-Gauteng. Ushiye phansi esikhundleni sekuba ngundvunankulu waseBrithani Boris Johnson kulandzela kutsi ubuholi bakhe bukhungatfwe tigameko letimbadlwana lekukhalwe kakhulu ngato. Iqembu leSuperSport liqinisekise kubuya kwemqeqeshi walo Gavin Hunt lapha asayinde khona inkondleka yeminyaka lemibili. Asikubingelele wena wekunene sikwamukele Tindzabeni tesiswati lesitetfula like SABC 1 Tindzaba khona ke ku YouTube ungatifuna ngekuthi SABC Tindzaba. Sekuphele umnyaka mengameli waphambilini kuleli Jacob Zuma aboshwa wavalele esikhungweni sekuhlunyelelisa kwesimilo i-Escort KwaZulu-Natal. Lokuboshwa kwakhe kwalandzela sincumo senkantolo yemtsetfosisekelo sekuthi akaboshelwe kungahloniphi umyalo wenkantolo. Zuma wahluleka kuvela kukhomishana lebeyiphenya ngekubanjwa kwembuso ngabhongwane emahlandla ambalwa ngemva kwekubita ngusihlalo wale khomishana Raymond Zondo kutsate utfula bufakazi.
Isiganeko esasingazange silindeleke kwelomzansi Afrika nalapho wayesakuba ngumongameli uJacob Zuma waphelekwa kusuka kukhaya lakhe lisenkandla ukuyawuma kwiziko lezoluleko elise-Escort KwaZulu-Natal kuyokuqala isigwebo sakhe entolongweni kokunyevulela inkundla. Ingqine emva kwengqine elathi gqiqhaphu phambi koJustice Raymond Zondo kwikomishoni ye-State Capture ladyobha lokaZuma nokwaba sisizathu sokuba makeze ngaphambili azokuziphendulela. Kodwa ke wala kwaphela ukuza kule komishoni. Oku kwakhokhelele kubeni lokaZuma abanjwe ngelixesha kunyaka ophelileyo. Abahlalutyi bezomthetho bathi isigqibo senkundla yomgaqo siseko sabonakalisa mhlophe kokuba kufanelekile ubana kubanjwe umthetho kwelomzantsi Afrika.
President Zuma, as a former head of state at the time, was having his own legal troubles with the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. But as a former president, I think he did have a responsibility to at least accord our constitutional democracy with the respect that it deserved. When I think he decided to act, to the contrary to those values, I think as a head of state, it was setting a wrong precedent to the country. And that's when the Constitutional Court was of the view that then they had to put a stop to that kind of behavior.
Kungokunje uZuma ungaphandle ngenqawule yezempilo egqibezela isigwebo sakhe ekhaya kodwa umbuzo ngokuba ingaba bethu esisigqibo sathathwa ngumbuso sasifanelekile kusini na.
That decision itself, it showed one of the flaws that our democracy has, in terms of the political influence that is then used to advance certain political interest, and you find that these irregular processes are undertaken just to protect or shield and done as a favor for another political figure.
Lokazuma uqhubela phambili nokufumana inkxaso ngagunqiyo kwaba bathi ujotshwe ngatyanga nyama bambi bathi bazawuhlala besecanga kwakhe de kube sekupheleni. Ndingabongile Dumako kwindaba ze-SABC eGauteng.
Bangetulu kwemakhulu lamatsatfu nemashumi lasihlanu bantfu labashona ngeminyaka lophelile ngalesikhathi kusuka etikhundleni ngenyanga yaKholwane sifundza saKwaZulu-Natal ngiso lesabane bantfu labanyenti labalahlekelwa timpilo tabo kanti lapha eGauteng kwashona bantfu labangemashumi layimfica.
Lapha ngilapho bantfu baseSoweto labalishumi balahlekelwa timpilo tabo khona. Takamuti tatseleka ngenkani tatapa impahla kule ndzawo.
I can't say much because she actually took her last breath la ezandleni zami. So that whole picture, it keeps playing. I told my dad, Guti, I just wish 11 of July could just ngathi ngadelete.
Sekuphele umnyaka kepha nokuthula solo usola hulumende ngalesehlakalo.
The person to be blamed, i-government yethu, had he created more jobs ngabe yonke lento ayizange abakhona, because if abantu bebasemsebenzini none of this would have happened. So because the unemployment rate is too high, yenzekile.
Nanobe emalunga emphakathi asita kuxoxa ngemva kwalesehlakalo buhlungu bekulahlekelwa timintabo busavakala. Simo namuhla sikhomba singilesibiyela kulokujwayelekile kepha kusenekusabela ukuthi kungahle kuphindze kube netibhelu letifana naleti teminyaka lofile.
Kusenjalo letibhelu tethu selive lonke tashiya emabhizinisi asesimeni lesibucayi. Sekuphele umnyaka kepha umonakalo lowendeka ngaleli viki letibhelu solo usabonakala. Lesi sitolo saselokishini lase-Alexandra besashiswa ngesikhathi setibhelu. Umnikati waso udonsa Matini. Kulukhuni ukuthi tintfo tibuyele esimeni. Imali yemchaso layithola beyincane kakhulu ukuthi avusele libhizinisi lakhe.
We're small business. I put in a claim for 350,000. They only gave me 150. I'm still outstanding 2 suppliers.
Labanye bosomabhizinisi labasafufutha kungumcasa ukuthi kule mali bayithole kuvusa emabhizinisi abo.
I apply for everybody, find it 150,000, me only get it 50,000.
Labathengisa emgwaqweni nabo bathintheka.
Business is not going nice. No business. After Luthani, Dudula, you must take the foreigner out. You say go out. You are not selling here because you are not South African.
Uthethe cishe etinyanga letintsatfu ukuthi kubuyelwe kusetshenzwe etithabathabeni tetitolo.
The instigators, they are using the vulnerability of the social conditions of people of South Africa. People are not working. People who loot, they don't know the objective of the instigators.
Tinkampani tekuthutha nato tatsikamateka kakhulu. Emaloli ashiswa athathelwa timpahla, kanti futhi beyangakhona ukuhamba kahle emgwaqweni. Kuthethe isikhathi ukuthi tintfo tibuyele esimeni.
Sikubotile ke mbukeli ukuthi ingabe simo sinjani ngakini njengoba abantu balahlekelwa ngumsebenzi impahla nalobunye ngenxa letibhelu nawe umbono wakho.
Ake ngiphakamise indawo yasemsinga ngishayile izandla ukuthi ebhelwini ezazi ikhona wakwazi ukuyinqanda umphakathi wakhona. Siyazi ukuthi umsinga phambilini kudume ngendawo enodlame kodwa cha lezi ibhelu ayizange zibe nomthelela utheni olahlekelwe umsebenzi ngoba kumhlambe kuye kwafika icorona kodwa hayi ngenxa yezibhelu.
Kusithokoze sine sinamphakathi kwale mkhazini njengoba imole eseduze nathi kuyimega philani ikwazile ukuthi ivule sonto edliweni okhombisayo ukuthi ke selikhona ithemba futhi sizokwazi nokuthi sinciphise indleko njengoba lesigibela kabili uma sidinga ama-ATM noma sidinga amabhenki. Lokhu kuyisifundo sokuthi ke bakwethu azame ukuthi kugwenywe indaba yeluthingi.
Labanye balahlekelwe umsebenzi abakhoni kuya ngisho nasemsebenzini. I-government ayilule isandla ingenelele kuyo yonke imikhakha kuze ukuthi konke kulunge.
Umdabu waba nomthelela omubi kakhulu and mkhulu kakhulu umonakalo owadaleka nje kumanje kunezakhiwo eziningi ezacekelwa phansi zashiswa lokho kwaphoqa ukuthi abantu abaningi baphelelwe imisebenzi bahleli emakhaya nenkampani nje eziningi zaphoqa ukuthi abantu abaningi zibadilize emsebenzini so nje lonto yadala ukuthi nobugebengu manje bunyuke kakhulu.
Imibono ke babukeli SABC angeke ikufese ngikuphendulela ngayo. Sobeke phansi nje Tindzaba njengandvunankulu weleBritain Boris Johnson lomholi bese ngaphansi kwencindezelo lenkulu ukuthi asuke kulesikhundla ngemva kokuthi isikhathi sakhe saqeda indzaba telihlazo. Johnson uphinze wamemetela lamanye amalungu ecabinet latawusebenza nawo zimade kufika isikhathi sekukhethwa kwemholi lomusha. Lomholi lomusha lotawukhethwa ngalesikhathi lelicembu libamba inkomfa lindzele ukuthi abe ngumuntu lotawulandzela umthetho.
Njengoba kusolo kunemahemhem lakhona mayelana na Boris Johnson sevele kumele baleni ukuthi ushiya phansi esikhundleni sakhe. Johnson uthi lolu hlelo lokukhetha umholi lomusha kumele lucale nyalo. Lo muholi ubona kushiya phansi labanye ku cabinet yakhe. Lokushiya phansi ku cabinet yakhe kuthi ngemva kwetinsolo ukuthi ingabe lo office la Johnson likhuluma liqiniso yini ngeludzaba lokubedda ngamacansi loluthinga ilunga leParliament elimiswe emsebenzini Chris Pinja.
I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now. And the timetable will be announced next week. And I've today appointed a cabinet to serve, as I will, until a new leader is in place.
Balingani bakhe labasetulu netindvuna tembuso bashiye phansi njengoba bakhala ukuthi akasilungelanga lesikhundla lakuso. Johnson ukuvumela ukuthi ubonile amaphutha akhe lawendile ngekhathi kwenhlangano yakhe iConservative Party.
I regret not to have been successful in those arguments, and of course it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself. But as we've seen at Westminster, the herd instinct is powerful. When the herd moves, it moves. And my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable.
Kepha umholi weBritish Labour lekwenhlangano lePhikisa uKestema ubuhlabele boholi baJohnson nahulumende wakhe.
He's inflicted lies, fraud and chaos in the country. And, you know, we're stuck with a government which isn't functioning in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And all of those that have been propping him up should be utterly ashamed of themselves.
Inhlangano ye-Conservative Party nyalo kumele ikhethe umholi lomusha lokuhlelo lungathatha emaviki nobe tinyanga. Kusho kwetibalo letendiwe yi-YouGov labo labangahle bagacele isikhundla sishiya uJohnson kufaka ekhathi indvuna yokuvikela Ben Wallace, indvuna yokuhwebelana Penny Mordaunt nalona beka-cabinet Rishi Sunak.
Kanzi nasibuya la ekhaya licembu le-ANC lithi litimisele kuphikisa i-DA lapho ikhala khona ngenqubomgomo ye-ANC yekuthunyelwa kwemalunga alinhlangano etikhundleni tembuso ukuthi akukho emthethweni. Lokhu kuvela emaphepheni asenkantolo laveta atinyathelo letifuna kuthathwa i-DA.
Kumaphepha lasenkantolo i-ANC ihlose ukuphikisana nemitamu ye-DA lapho khona ikhala ngemgomo ye-ANC ukuthunyelwa kwemalunga alinhlangano etikhundleni tembuso ukuthi akukho emthethweni. I-DA enkantolo yaseNorth Gauteng ngenyanga yenhlaba lapho khona beholwa ngumholi waJohn Steenhuisen kuyokhala ngaloludzaba. Sihlalo lenhlangano Helen Zini uthi likhomishana lazona lokubeka ebaleni ukuthi umgomo we-ANC ngolodlala inzima kubanjwe ngombuso ngabhongwane.
There was also a very clear indication in the Zondo Commission that Judge Zondo believes that cadre deployment is unconstitutional. And so when we take it to court to make that official, that cadre deployment is unconstitutional and should not be permitted, the ANC defends the very policy that is the heart of the captured, corrupt and criminal state.
Emva kwemalanga nje i-DA ifake isikhalo sayo enkantolo lokhulumela i-ANC Pulemabe uthi i-ANC ayikholwa ukuthi iphume eceleni komthethosisekelo.
It's worrisome that the Democratic Alliance or any other party would want to take an internal policy of the ANC to court, but the ANC does not believe that its cadre deployment policy goes against the constitution of the Republic of South Africa.
Kumbiko kugcina kubanjwa kwembuso ngabhongwana likhomishana laZondo lathi lo mgomo we-ANC ukuthunyelwa kwamalunga alenhlangano etikhundleni tembuso akukho emthethweni. Namhla i-ANC ithi tibone letiphakamiso netiphumo tale khomishana kanti tawutibuka kabandi. Sigungu lesisetulu salenhlangano sifayile uhlelo loluthinza loludzaba.
On findings on weaknesses and lapses by the ANC will, among others, review its policies with respect to cadre deployment policy and practice.
Kulokunye i-ANC itawubuka kabandi ludzaba loluthinza kwekuthunyelwa kwemalunga ayo etikhundleni tembuso. Imithetho yokucolela imali kule nhlangano nemithetho yokuthi iphatha leli thimba lelikhethele litawenda tiphakamiso ngakunye kuloku.
Lesititfola sesitemoyeni nginathi letithi kushone bantfu lababili kumbhikisho wekwenyuka kwemafutsa etimoto emgcobaneni itfutani nase-White River eMpumalanga. Lokhu kuta njengobe lo mbhikisho ungenela ngelesibili kuthunyelwe emaphoyisa kuyocapha simo kuleya ndzawo. Ngekusho kwemaphoyisa kunemuntfu lekuthiwa bekabhikisha lodutshulwe ngumshayeli lobese naye uyatibulala ngemva kwaloko.
Today we had an incident where 2 people died, and in that space it was one person who it is alleged that he forced to pass the road, and in the process he took the gun and shot randomly to 1 to 3 people, of which one was fatally wounded. And when he went home, it is alleged that he committed suicide. So these are the 2 incidents that we have today.
Kanzi kusenjalo titfutsi temphakatsi kulinzeleke ukuthi tibuyele emsebentini kusasa ikakhulukazi ematekisi ngemva kwemalanga lamabili embhikisho lebemayelana nekwenyuka kwenzenga emafutsa etimoto. Emhlanganweni nalabatsinzekile inhlangano yematekisi i-White Haze yethembise ukuthi itawubutsa tibi lebekuvalwe ngato imigwaco bese kucala umsebenzi.
Selilanga lesibili kuvalwe umgwaco nanobe leminye imizila beyivulelwe timoto ukuthi tikhona kuhamba. Epinari bosomatekisi bavala umgwaco ngemadayila avuthako. Bagibeli basale bacakekile kanzini emabhizinisi avaliwe.
We tried to come yesterday, but we didn't find anything. Every road is closed. So we come today. It's the same story. Every road is closed. There is no local taxi, so people is not coming inside. So it's affected our business because you see these days it's very struggle. Everything is high. Petrol is high. So we are just struggling. There's all shops is closed. So we don't know how we will survive this thing.
Etithabathabeni tetitolo solo kuvaliwe lokuyindlela yokuqinisekisa kuphepha.
Yes, affect because imamol ama-shop maningi anabasebenzi abaningi and abasebenzi must end bafuna ukubhadaliwa bafuna babhadalana rente ngibona ngathi inkinga makwenzekala so.
eHazyview bosomatekisi labe bavale umgwaqo bathithe batawutisusa letibile betivale umgwaqo kuze bacale kusebenta futhi.
Namhla ngo-4 ntambama sizabe sesiklinile sivanile ukuthi amabhasi ayabuya ngo-4 namhla ntambama. Ukuthi bantu bakhona ukuthi laba emsebenzini ekseni bahambe ngamaplan abo ukuthi akhona amabhasi ukuthi bantu babalanse babuye ngala.
Emaphoyisa ayachubeka nekucapha simo kulendzawo.
Inkantolo yamanje wasembombela isihlehlisile isicelo sebheyili sebasona lamatsatfu lababukene nemacala ekubulala Hillary Gadi kanti umbuso uthi ufuna kwengeta lelinye licala kulawa labukene nalabasolwa Bosipho Mkhatshwa, Philemon Likhele naMduduzi Gama babukene nemacala ekubulala kugagadlela nekutfumba Gadi lowatfolwa bulewe ngenyanga yamabasa. Kanzike nasibuka timakethe tetimali lirandi lehlile nalicatsaniswa netimali takulamanye mave. Lirandi libita 16.74 cents nalicatsaniswa nelidola lasemelika, pondo waseBrithani ubita 20.08 cents, liro libita 17.4 cents, lipula libe 132 cents. Inkomba yetabelo tonke JSE yehlile. Igolide ibita $1,744 le ounce, platinum ibita $872 le ounce, wela longakahlutwa ubita $105.77 umphongolo. Kanzi nasibuka temidlalo iSuperSport United iqinisekise ukuthi Kevin Hunt uyoba ngumceceshi wayo kulandzela kusayina inkontileka yeminyaka lemibili. Hunt ubuya kuleli cembu ngemva kwekuhamba iminyaka lemfica. Kevin Hunt wacecesha leli cembu nga-2007 lapho wathatha khona ticoco te-league kathatfu emkhatsini wa-2008 na-2010. Hunt wabese uyalishiya leli cembu nga-2013 wabuya ku-Wits kanti wathatha i-MTN 8 i-Telkom ne-league ku-Wits ngembi kokuthi ayocecesha i-Kaizer Chiefs. Lo mceceshi lo wekutalwa eKapa uceceshe i-Chiefs ne-Chippa United lapho-ke abe nesikhathi lesincane kakhulu kuwo lamacembu lamabili. Kapteni we-I-Banyana Banyana Janine van Wyk uthi bathatha umdlalo ngamunye kulomchithelwano wabomake we-AFCON lochubekako eMorocco. INingizimu Afrika itawutfola netulu neBurundi lehlele emsileni emdlalweni wabo wesibili kulomchithelwano lamuhla ebusuku.
I-Banyana Banyana inelithemba lokuthi itawenda kangcono kundlula kulomchithelwano wanga-2018 lapho yakhona kuhlula iNigeria emdlalweni wokuqala walomchithelwano yabe seyibahlula emlotheni emdlalweni womancamo. Leli qembu le-I-Banyana Banyana alikase lithathe lesicoco kepha selihlule kathathu emdlalweni womancamo.
I think it's important that we celebrate a really good, convincing victory, especially against one of the powerhouses in African football. But it's important that we know that it's not game over. And I think most of the experienced players that have been here played in the 2018 AFCON tournament as well, and it was a similar situation. And there's a couple of new players that have come in, but I think we have put everyone on the same page and just reminded them of the importance of our upcoming matches, especially the next one that is very important for us to continue with the consistency of a good performance.